What's going on, my fellow co-creators? Thank you so much for tuning in to another session here, episode 13. And as you just saw, that was actually Kai surrounded by some deep gnomes. Before we get to Kiren training with the soldiers, Kai actually woke up in the morning and ran over to Lou's Tavern to get the meal that was prepared for him to bring to try to make a peace offering with Ursos. And unfortunately, halfway there, he forgot that he didn't even pack up his camp. And on his way back, a couple deep gnomes were rummaging through his things, and they entered into a fierce battle. And as it ensued, I mean, Kai was using his quarterstaff to knock these gnomes around, but these gnomes are a little tricky, and they got a couple little hidden daggers up their sleeves as well. So it was kind of a rough battle, and about halfway through, Kai was just kind of done with it and wanted to just smack and do kind of a kung fu kick against these gnomes, and here's how it went.
Oh, this is not it. As you go to kind of, launch yourself over your backpack, going to kick this stupid, red-headed little fool who's been stuffing through your goodies, you pull yourself over, and unfortunately, your aim, due to your lack of perception, is a bit off, and you land like right here to the side of him, almost a little past him.
It looks like I just tried to get closer to him.
Looks like you just kind of made some movement very, very hastily with a foot high in the air. I believe that's it for your turn, then? Okay.
Well, I didn't do a... Does that include my bonus action? Because I didn't do a perception on that one.
What did you do for your bonus action?
I didn't do one because I didn't do a perception check.
Oh, so you can straight up, since you still have your bonus action, you can either make a perception check, do a different check, or you can do a full-on strike because you're a monk. So since he's next to you and you have about where he's at, you can try to make a full-on unarmed strike.
So I think since I missed him, I kind of have an idea of how to correct that.
What you missed.
And
Okay.
So I'm going to take a... It has to be unarmed, so can I use this? No, because that's 2 attacks. Never mind. Yeah, I'll just... bitch slap him.
Just cross the face, backhand this fool. All right, cool. Roll to hit.
19.
All right, that hits. Roll for damage.
1. It's a bitch slap. I mean,
as you, that was kind of funny, honestly though. As you realize your footing, you just turn and just wing your arm up, and like you feel like you brushed it across like the shoulder, kind of the suit, and didn't even quite get his head, but you know exactly where he is, and you don't need to make a perception check on this deep gnome. You know exactly where he is at currently. It is then going to jump over to the last deep gnome, his buddy.
And as this battle continues on, they're literally taking turns rummaging through Kai's backpack, snagging things out of it, and also dealing damage to Kai as well. One of these deep gnomes in particular already has his pickaxe stuck in the leg, pretty much through the shin of Kai, and he's about to make an attempted attack to throw Kai off balance and try to seal the deal.
Is then going to jump back to red-headed little deep gnome. And his pickaxe is still in your leg. You pulled off some crazy kung fu moves with the pickaxe still, like just literally hooked in your shin. He's literally going to try to grab it and then pull you up and like down, and try to like knock you down off your foot.
This guy goes see more stuff.
Ooh, what's your armor class?
16.
Yeah, he gonna hit that one. And as he does, let's see, we're gonna try to make you prone for that. It's gonna do 5 damage. As he grabs this pickaxe and just pulls it up, and you just slip and just fall straight down.
That
Rips
knocks me,
down.
That knocks me out.
Did that knock you out?
Yeah, it does. He's freaking down.
It's a successful monkey.
And
That's successful.
well, and I'm suggesting. Wow.
That was so great, bro.
Agree. Can we all agree this is Carl?
Sure.
Carl the deep gnome.
This is Carl.
And his
Carl's about to go.
I like the name. It just fits. I mean, it's Carl.
Carl the deep
This
gnome.
is Carl.
His gang is called the creepy carlers.
I'm cool with it.
That's honestly pretty decent. The creepy colors.
Carlers.
Carlers.
Like
Yeah.
Crawler.
It's crawlers, but it's carlers. I kind of like the carlers. It's funny. So I can dig it.
Don't mess with the carlers, man.
Right?
They took down the monk.
It's the gang of deep gnomes.
Right,
like
he couldn't
this
see.
is freaking funny. Like.
And with this successful mugging, unfortunately, Carl and the Carlers, they made out well with a lot of the things that Kai had in his backpack. Some of his gold, some of his treasures, some of his gear, all sorts of stuff. They did not leave him much, unfortunately. And lucky for him, Behemoth was kind of already making his way kind of back in that direction because he was looking for his companions anyway. And let's just say he had an intuitive feeling that he needed to check out the common quarters. And as he approached, he saw dear Kai knocked out with what remained of his bag and his tent and everything else. And he luckily revived him and was like, dude, don't know what happened to you, but we got things to do. Like, we got to get back and see Theo. He's got missions. He's got stuff to tell us. Also, Tarek's still recovering. We got to go check on him. All that kind of good jazz. So luckily, he gets him up and they start making their way back to the castle. But unfortunately,
As you are making your way to the castle, Behemoth, you kind of all of a sudden realize that you're still missing somebody.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say or do?
Well, where do we go?
You're right there.
Yeah, we're over here. Okay. So as we are approaching the castle, I start screaming out, "Yo, Kiren! What the heck, yo?"
Just yelling it.
Yeah.
In the street.
Just, yeah, what are you doing? We got stuff to do!
A couple people are walking by the street and they're just like, they think you're talking to yourself. They're a little disturbed. Like,
Right, but
guy
see,
things out.
and as Behemoth is yelling these things, we are about to jump over to where Kai is. And if you don't remember, he is currently with some of the forces in Theo's army. They're actually going out for training out at the range, which is kind of on the back hillside on the cliffs, kind of behind the castle and the barracks themselves. And they're going out there with this drill sergeant, and there's a good group of vamps there with Kai. And it seems like they're going to be going through different rounds of training. And kind of like, okay, if you succeed, you get to move on to the next round. If you fail, you get to go home and you get to scrub the barracks and clean stuff pretty much. So Kai is about to see how he fares as far as being a leprechaun, trying to get some training within these vamps in Theo's army for the elite archers. And to be honest, he actually does pretty well. He makes it past the first two challenges where more than half of the other archer vamps get sent back to the barracks. But the third challenge is a bit trickier.
As you are in your shooting area, and these deep gnomes are bringing out these magma ants for y'all to shoot. These are your target practices. And you have your drill sergeant standing next to his awesome-ass cinder beast, Betha.
I'm sorry, I gotta ask, what's the redhead's name?
Carl.
That's it, it's Carl. I'm putting it down. Is it a...
You don't know if that's Carl, though. That could just be another.
But, I mean, just between you and me, is it a Carl with a K?
No, it has to be C, because somewhere around here is Carl Jr.
Oh! I'll take that.
And as they're bringing out these magma ants, you realize that, oh, dang, it's going to be some magma ant hunting now. And as this first vampire kind of comes up and jumps on top of Betha, she kind of moans a little bit, and as the drill sergeant's instructing him on how to properly ride the cinder beast, the deep gnomes set up the.
It's a cinder spider.
That's a cinder spider.
Oh, cinder beast. Oh, yeah.
This is a cinder beast.
Dude, just delete that.
Right? That was hilarious. The dude just.
I didn't see him because the
Dude,
rock,
I know, 'cause
the rock
the rock-
was right there. I'm like, what the fuck?
That
are you
was
fighting?
so funny. As this first vamp kind of makes his way across the field to shoot these cinder spiders, 3 misses.
Ooh.
Right in on the back of a cinder beast. A little bit different than standing on your own 2 feet. And it goes to the second one. And he actually succeeds. Hits all 3 of them. Dead. And as he throws arrows in each of these magma ants, they drop. I mean, just in the field. Comes up then to the third, and he succeeds as well. We got 2 people succeeding. And now,
It's my turn.
got a Kiren coming up here. And as you make your way over to the Cinder Beast and the drill sergeant, all right, now here are the reins. You pull to the left, she'll go left. You pull to the right, she'll go right. You pull straight back, she's gonna stop. You give her a nice little kick here on the sides, she's gonna go forward, pick up the trot into a slight bit of a run. Now you can go through this course as fast or as slow as you want to, little one, but listen here. You get one pass. If that pass takes you 10 minutes, it takes you 10 minutes. But no running across the field, turning around and coming back. You get one pass to get your 3 arrows out. Now, you running this crossbow all day. It's a bit hard to load up a crossbow while on the back
of a giant beast.
Do you want to switch to a regular bow and arrow? Let your last arrow loose as you failed miserably in hitting this first ant. Somehow pulled out some crazy Robin Hood heroics and swung upside down from the horn of the Cinder Beast as you fell off the back of it and were clutching onto its head. Somehow hit the second magma ant. On the last one, however, just miss. And as you are trying everything, you just miss, and this arrow just plummets, trailing this magma ant as it's just climbing and walking right behind this rock. And it shoots right into the ground. And as this Cinder Beast kind of gets to the end of your kind of, course, your kind of, run at hitting these 3, you just feel pissed. You're like, I made it this freaking far, and this damn Cinder Beast has to be so stupid, big, and awkward, and my legs don't even freaking sidle across this thing normal. So, like, what the heck? So you're not going to continue training with us, is what you're saying?
No, I would love to train with you guys when I'm, like, in town and not...
Oh, so you're leaving town, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
See, there are split loyalties here.
Well...
This is something to discuss.
I guess I owe loyalty to Theo since he, like, sent these people, brought me out. Here, gave me gold, gives me a place to stay.
Give me gold.
Yeah,
gives me things I like, them goodies.
This is someone like I can have a relationship with to benefit from. So Theo.
With Theo and Lupus's permission, you're more than welcome to train, I guess, anytime. However, I can't really promise anything happening or you really getting any better if you're in and out. Wherever your focus will truly lie is what will truly advance. So, it's been great training with you, young one, but head back to the barracks, check in with Lupus before you leave if you decide to, and if you decide to stay, then I'll see you first things again tomorrow.
Okay.
And you kind of leave. You're just kind of like, I'm out, all right, I'm out. And as you kind of turn, all right, you there, up next. And it's back to training, and he's trying to find his couple elite archers out of this whole, kind of the group and everything. And as you kind of, start making your way back into the barracks, you're just kind of like, well, that was cool. And like, I feel better, and I feel like I used my crossbow really well and what you did. And you're, just kind of like thinking back to being on the Magmants, and you're like, you know what, if using a normal bow on a Cinder Beast isn't my forte, there's still a lot I can do.
I know. Like,
so
don't
you feel very, very, very confident, and you feel like this whole endeavor was.
Good.
You feel like this whole endeavor was still a success, for sure.
And as Kiren says his farewells throughout the barracks and trying to go then back to the castle to link back up with Theo and the rest of his party, we jump back already into the castle, and Behemoth and Kai are both there, and they're missing Kiren. And Theo's a little bit curious as to where he is as he asks Behemoth.
He's straight off towards the barracks area. That's all I know.
Interesting. Well, regardless, at least we have 2 of you here. Tarek, you will be happy to hear, is healing quite well. He had a bit of an issue throughout the night with his recovery.
Is he going to kill me?
It has not. It has all been taken care of.
You sure he's not going to kill me? Because he tried to kill me.
Well, let me say this, Behemoth. He won't kill you in the same way. Theo kind of is saying this to you. He looks up and motions. Looks like the other little one was able to find his way back here regardless. And Behemoth and Kai, you both kind of turn and realize that someone else has entered into the room. And Behemoth, you kind of, excited. Hey, there you are, Kiren! And Theo's looking at you. And where did you venture off to throughout the night?
Just training with your army. Pretty good people.
And how did you fare with Lupus's soldiers?
Terrence is like one of my good buddies now. There's this drill sergeant. It was kind of cool. Kids, you know how to shoot ranges. I got to ride his cinder beast. Never seen one of those before.
Mm-hmm.
I hung off its tusk and dropped, shot a cinder ant. Almost shot the other one. You know what? It was pretty impressive. If only there was like a video of it or something.
What's the video?
What's a video?
My bad.
As
Way back
Theo,
division.
as you're saying all this kind of stuff, Theo kind of nods in, kind of like, you know, approval, and he's kind of impressed with everything you've accomplished. And he kind of looks over at Behemoth and at you, Kai, and he's like, so did either of you accomplish as much as this one has in the last 24 hours? Or should I appoint him to potentially lead this next quest?
Well, you know, I tried to make amends with Ursos.
You didn't get there yet.
I haven't gotten there yet because some of y'all, what are they called again? The
Deep gnomes.
Deep gnomes. Like started stealing my backpack stuff.
They mugged me.
They mugged me, and here I am.
Well,
I got no gold.
formally, before you start making any accusations.
Well, there's no accusation.
Small one. I was speaking there, Kai. This is the first time we've actually met. It's a pleasure to meet you. Now. He's like, shit. Oops. My bad, dog.
Hey,
My bad, you.
apologies.
Whoa.
Now,
I'm young, dumb, full of stupidity.
My bad, OG.
what had
Sorry.
happened to where your bag presumably became detached from your body?
Not presumably. It was detached.
It was detached. So, alright, here's the deal. Alright, I made a really big mistake with Ursos, and I don't know, like I'm feeling kind of strange. Like I'm usually pretty calm and I have control of my emotions, but I was talking to Ursos and things got out of control, and I threatened to kill his bird, and he kicked me out of his. It's a whole long story.
Yeah, and I saw him in the street and he was almost dead, but he wasn't dead, and I didn't need to do anything about it, so it's okay.
But nonetheless, I decided I needed to make amends. I had to like try to get to be by myself to kind of gather my thoughts and understand why am I acting so flippin' crazy. And so,
Is that where you went?
yeah, so I went and pitched a tent in the back alley over there, and then I woke up and I realized it was time for me because I ordered some food for Ursos and his bird to kind of apologize and make amends. So I was wanting to get there and take care of that, and in my haste, I left my backpack. So I turned around, went to get the backpack, and there's these deep gnomes going through it, and
So your possessions were left unattended for
well, yeah.
when the deep gnomes found it.
It doesn't matter.
True. But then when I came around,
Therefore, it wasn't, as far as their knowledge, your property or anything. Did you ever tell them that that was your bag?
yeah. No, I did. I said, have you seen my backpack? Well, maybe I said, have you seen a backpack?
You just asked about a backpack. You was like, yo, that's my backpack.
But then if I said it was my
I
backpack,
hear that. I'm just asking.
I mean, there's some assumptions that should be made. If I'm looking for a backpack, there's one that's there with no person attached to it.
And what happened when you stumbled upon these deep gnomes
Could have asked what it was in. Just saying.
finding this backpack?
Go through what happened. So I kind of threw your name around a little bit.
Sorry.
Because obviously we know each other, so
What doesn't matter? I'm with a group that if you're going to send me on this mission with these people, then I should have some backing and some support from you as a group with these people. I mean, whether you met me or not.
absolutely, yeah. This is the first I've heard of you actually agreeing to partake on this mission, since we haven't spoken. Since you've been in my care, and you showed up to my kingdom unconscious, and I not only took care of you, but then when I realized you were cursed, healed you, remedied you, and put you under surgery to remove this curse, you could still move about your wares, and I have yet to receive a thank you.
Not to mention, do you know how many healing potions I've used? Just saying, yeah.
It's just out the corner.
Well, I mean, I have yet to really see you, to give
No.
you the... I understand. Look, I get it. I'm 18 years old. I understand. I'm hot on the collar. I get all that, right? Look, that's not the point. The point is I'm trying to get myself into a position because, yes, I do want to go on this mission. I do want to help Master Bendu because this is important to me. I can't do that with lack, right? If I don't have the things that I need. And now, so yes, I may have been a little hasty, overreacting, but they were stealing my stuff.
What was taken from you?
I have to read this.
Let me read this.
This is a long list.
They got a lot, Theo.
Oh.
Maybe you should just mark it like an X.
So we got 20 darts,
Erased from time.
a crowbar.
Oh, gold.
Maybe you try and read it.
I know gold.
No, Parker's hand
I know gold
No,
crowbar.
it's just because it's
I think
erased.
gold crowbar was honestly it the other guy.
Well, he had
Like
done
I
zero.
said.
About 5,000 in gold.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Give or
Oh
take.
He
yeah.
gave his water.
It was 1,500.
Was it 15?
It was
Okay, so
1,500.
1,000. 1,000 in gold.
I was like, I'm just still, I'm rating that bad. I was like, my gosh,
Dude, yeah, bang.
I know, dude, for real.
Crowbar. So 30 darts, because he has 20 darts here. I don't understand that.
And you got 10 darts.
10 darts down there. A 50-foot of rope.
So that's
box,
mine.
rations, and water skin.
No, they left the rations.
Hammer?
Skin.
Does he have his hammer?
No hammer.
When you found these gnomes rummaging through your bag and grabbing these things, what did you do?
Well, I asked them to give it to me. Then they said, well, what are you going to do about it? And I said, well, kind of know Theo. This is when I threw your name around. I was like, and they're like, oh, you know Theo? And they're like, I don't believe it. And then they just kept going. And so I got a little physical.
Isn't it hilarious when you have to like replay your actions? You're like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did.
I did those. I might have said something along that line.
So I got a little physical. Beaten into kind of a bloody pulp. But the other one, obviously put his axe through my...
So you struck the first blow and took it to a physical altercation.
Well, I didn't see that I had much of a choice.
Rather than coming and killing me immediately or letting one of my soldiers or one of my guards throughout the keep know.
Wait, will I still be having this?
Because
Because, I mean, they stole it anyway, so does it really matter?
To be fair,
if
he
you
was
have-
waking up and then dragged here.
if you had one of my soldiers, they would have been able to not only put a stop to the matter, but also had your belongings returned to you if you could prove that they were truly yours. Now, this is a delicate matter. I understand you being upset about your wares being taken from you. What I can do to try to help with that?
With all due respect, sir. Honestly, I don't really give a fuck about this. I'm more concerned right now with making the amends with Ursos. And so I need to get that taken care of. And I know we're about to go on this mission, but I had Lou cook up breakfast and all this stuff. Now it's cold. I need to go get this taken care of. Because that's more important.
That's a good approach.
That was beast. That was just so great as like a character moment, just everything. Good job, part-time Kai. Good job, part-time
Give him
Kai.
mixed drink.
That was great.
It was good.
Yeah, I mean, for real, give yourself 50 experience points. That was a great big moment. And finally, we see the true nature of your heart and what actually matters. Here's what I can do. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out kind of a weird hexagon-like token. And it almost has like kind of a weird purplish tint with a weird strange kind of marking that's been kind of carved out of the center of it. And Theo kind of grabs this token. Give this to Ursos. He'll know what to do from there. It'll definitely help you along your journey. And I know that I hope to help you continue on your path of redemption to finding what's going on in your life and why you're feeling this disarray and dismay. Along with, I do desire and am happy to hear that you have accepted going along the quest with Behemoth and the rest of this party. For your nature of being a monk is directly tied with not only the curse that was placed over you and the other monks of the monastery, but I do believe that your Master Bendu, Master Shen, and everyone else over at the monastery had some very, very key things to play in the grander picture of what's going on in this realm. And I'd be more than happy to help you on your path of continuing to right what wrongs have been done to you in the monastery. So thank you for showing who you truly are and what you're truly here to do. As he kind of hands you this token and gem, he looks at kind of everybody in the room. Now, Tarek has been debriefed on this, and I'm not sure how much he was able to get across to all of you, so I'm only going to say this once. The monastery over in High Oak Forest has been attacked. High Master Ramush is the in-charge elder monk. Has been in charge for about the last 50 years.
Can you spell Arakmush?
So Master Ramush, just Ramush. R-A-M-U-S-H, Ramush.
Got it.
He oversees everything. The other monk masters are Master Shen, Master Bendu, and Master Kensu. Believably, there have been about 200 monks, give or take, staying at the monastery at any given time. I believe they were attacked 3 days ago now, following the Battle of Alucardia, where we defended our keep against the remaining forces of House Malice. I believe it was a day or so after the battle took place when this monastery was attacked, for that is the same time you, Kai, had fallen down and the curse had been fallen upon you as you entered into Alucardia from Chateau d'If. There is a relic at the monastery. It is an orb. The Orb of Ramaksun. It is a seeing orb, meaning that whatever your true heart desires, this orb will show you where to find it or how to obtain it. I believe whoever attacked this monastery was sent there in search of this orb to use to locate the other soul stones that Dracula has hidden throughout this realm. For how we have destroyed and crushed most of the remaining of House Malistaire, there are still a few that remain and wish to not only resurrect Dracula, but bring more destruction throughout this realm.
As Theo gives them this information and tells them that, again, if Tarek is feeling up to it, he will join them in the morning, they all kind of make their bed for the night in Theo's castle, and that is where we end this session. So thank you all again so much for tuning in to another episode of Tales of Dordania, and definitely tune in again for the next episode to see what happens with our campaign and with our heroes as they are about to head off into High Oak Forest and check out what's going on in the monastery. So thank you so much. Take care, and God bless.